What's your story? Come along, no need to hurry. Every voice is meant to be heard. What's your story? Tell it loud, tell it proud. What's your story? Let's share it with the crowd.
Hey, hey, hey. So, what's your story? Hit me up, message me, come on down to the studio, and we'll talk about what's your story. This morning, we have here with me a good friend of ours. Her name is Connie Magruder, and we're going to find out what's her story. Connie, good morning.
Good morning, George. And yes, I'm so excited to be here today
Uh huh.
with you. We go way back with my beautiful Vicky, too.
Yes.
And first of all, George, I want to say thank you for this opportunity. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for God. God
Amen.
actually is the one who delivered me from all the things that I went through to bring my story here today.
Right, right. So, we're going to hear your story. Right. So first of all, I know that you're very well known in the Antelope Valley. A lot of people know you. A lot of people in the real estate community know who you are. You're a realtor here, a local realtor, also, correct?
Yes,
Right.
correct.
But for those who don't know you, right? Who is Connie? Can you tell us who Connie is? How did you end up here in the Antelope Valley and things like that?
Oh my gosh, if I could start, well, I'm Connie, which I am a sibling of from. We were 9 kids in my family.
Uh huh.
I'm the seventh one to the oldest, to the youngest, I should say. So I'm the youngest of the girls, and all my family was regular family, regular Mexican family. I remember, a lot of good things in my home as I grew up, and as well as, a lot of lack of food and lack of things. But overall, we were a happy family. And sometimes it was there were things in the family like every other family, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the
Mm-hmm.
good thing is that we stick together. And through the years, I saw that I was growing up, all my sisters and brothers and everybody started getting married. Well, first having their boyfriends and girlfriends, and then everybody started getting married and having their children of their own. And I always remember that since I was a young girl, I always dream of having a lot of kids.
Mm.
And, ironically, I was the only one in my family that I could never have kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was, well, when I grew up, I came to the US at the age of 16.
Okay.
My dad sent me to Disneyland as
Mm-hmm.
my quinceañera.
Oh, wow. It's a good present.
So yes, as a present, yeah, because he asked me, "Do you want a fiesta? Do you want a party, or do you want a trip to Disneyland?" And my oldest sister, was here, so I came here to Disneyland, and that's how I started here my life in the U.S. And I became a U.S. citizen. I started working after I studied, and everything was going really well. I married the first time when I was living in Arleta, and this happened when I was 23. But
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that I couldn't have any children.
Okay.
So um, my what I wanted the most in life was to have children. That was like, okay, I'm gonna get married, I'm gonna have children, they're gonna grow up, I'm gonna be
Mm-hmm.
a mother.
Mm-hmm.
Like every woman that I know, they have this desire in their lives. And when you have this desire and it's so potent in your heart, and it's just I don't know, I went against all odds. I went to, first of all, my ex husband didn't, I think that he wanted to have children. So he left me. We were 4 years married. So he left me and we got divorced. And, it broke my heart. But then 3 years after, I continued
Mm-hmm.
to, to believe in God and to go to church and just what I knew how to do it. But my heart was broken
Right.
because I felt like I was, you know, a barren woman. Uh, After all my friends and everybody started, having their own families, and I couldn't have any children. So then what? After 3 years or four that I met my new husband, Kendall, and we've been married almost for 30 years.
Wow. Wow.
So it's been really really great because when I met him and we were gonna get married after a few months that we knew each other,
Uh-huh.
and I told him, you know what, the doctor said that I might not ever want to have kids, and then he looked me in the eye and he said, honey, I'm not marrying you because of the kids, the children that you can give me. I'm marrying you because of your heart
Wow.
for God.
Wow.
And when he said that to me, it was like a heavy weight lift from my shoulders. But in my heart, um, I was stubborn. I was determined
Mm-hmm.
to have a baby. So I said, with all the technology, with everything that is going on, there should be something. So I started going to the doctors. I was doing well in real estate. My husband and I, we were living in Kauai, in the most beautiful island of
Oh, wow.
Hawaii. We lived there for 4 years.
Nice. Very
And
nice.
that's when I started going through the acupuncture, the natural remedies, the doctor, the hormonal treatment, everything that I could in my power to, along with me, I will always let God know, but I always let him know,
Uh-huh.
Lord, I'm just gonna do this, okay?
Right.
I wanna do this to try to have my baby. I'm going to do this, but and when you just put God like on the driver's seat,
Uh-huh.
not on the driver's seat, on the other seat,
The co-pilot.
on the co-pilot, he's just gonna be a co-pilot, right? He's not going to. He's such a gentleman. He is going to let you do whatever you wanna do.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, I continue my journey in trying to become pregnant,
Uh-huh.
and nobody knows, but in my heart, every night, I will go to bed sometimes crying without my husband noticing because the loneliness of not being a mother, the desire of being a mother was so deep in my heart that I wanted to be a mother no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I started. After I did everything, I did even in vitro. We went to Mexico to do our in vitro fertilization, and it didn't work either. So I went against the wall, and nothing worked. After thousands of dollars that I
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
spent, and and my husband, he was always by my side, supporting me in everything that I did.
Mm-hmm.
As a loving husband, of course he could have said no, but he just wanted me. He wanted my dream to become a reality.
Right.
And so years passed and I couldn't do it. So one day my aunt called me from Mexico City and she said, there's a baby in Mexico that they want, the lady was going to get rid of him.
Oh, wow.
And because she was so poor, she
Uh-huh.
couldn't support him. So she was pregnant, 6 months. And so she said, I talked to her and, we can arrange it that you can adopt this baby.
Okay.
So my excitement was beyond,
Right. Right.
beyond belief. And I thought it was a green light from God. Again, I had him on the co-pilot seat.
Right.
Hey, Lord, look at this. This is happening to me.
Your dream was coming true.
Finally, exactly. My dream is gonna come true. And so I started going to back and forth to Mexico to see the lady. The lady gave total the permission to
Uh-huh.
for me to adopt her baby,
Okay.
I did hire an attorney in Tijuana,
Okay.
which things didn't go well with the adoption. And when the baby was born, I brought the baby back to Tijuana because they told me that that was the easiest way to do the paperwork. And the attorney, he just advised me to go to the embassy and try to get the passport for the baby.
Okay.
My husband came to pick me up, and we went to the embassy to get the baby and to get the passport and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And but it didn't go well. It turned the other way,
Wow.
where our lives all of a sudden, all of my dreams and all of my life, it just shattered in front of my eyes.
Oh, wow. What happened?
Because well, what happened is that they thought, I didn't know Tijuana is one of the is the city where it's target as the trafficking for children.
Oh, wow.
So anytime that you have a child, they're gonna see it with, they're gonna see it and question it and all that. And not knowing the laws in Mexico,
Uh-huh.
um, my attorney didn't come for us. He just flew. So practically, he
He
was
abandoned
just
you guys.
he abandoned us, and practically he was just getting money to do this, but
Wow.
we were doing it all in the wrong way. So, anyways, so we lost the baby when we got out of the consul right there at the embassy. There were already police from Tijuana. They detained us because they thought that we were trafficking this child,
Oh, my Lord.
which we had a home. We already had our nursery for the baby. We even had it painted with, I mean, what every mother will do for the, expecting her child.
Uh-huh.
I was doing. And we were going to give this child the life that he was never going to have in Mexico. And the mother was okay with that. And she gave us the letter, to give up the baby. We were going to have like an open adoption where she was going to be part of
Okay.
the baby, right? And so this didn't happen. But after that, there's too many things that came in, in this situation. So finally, we got bailed out from the prison because we were there for 47 days.
Oh, so they actually took you guys, put you in jail.
They took us to different places. They had us. They kept us away from my family for over 35 days,
Wow.
kind of like an in a kidnap
Uh-huh.
situation
Uh-huh.
because we nobody in my family knew where we were. They had to be they had to hire an attorney. We went through so many ordeals and so many things that all of this is going to be in my future book, because at this moment I'm going to start writing my book
Okay.
where my whole story is going to be told. But just coming back to the child situation, the social services thief took the baby. They set him. They place him with another family.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we believe, because that's what our attorney said. And we came back home with empty-handed. And not only that, but when we came back home to Lancaster, we had nothing left over. And that's the time when all the houses, 2008,
Okay.
when we had all the housing.
Yeah, when the boom, the yeah,
Yes, when
bubble
everybody
burst.
started losing all their houses, we lost our house too. We ended up renting a little, house in Lancaster, which we made a wedding chapel.
Mm.
Then all of a sudden, we became really famous
Yeah.
by we married almost 4,000 couples.
Wow.
Yeah, so the things, but between all this, the healing and the restoring of our lives and the sanity, because also things in Tijuana, they almost drove us crazy, and they almost made lose our freedom for many years.
Mm-hmm.
But thank God we were just on a trial for 1 year. Uh, in all this time, we started bringing clothes and things, and because we used to go every week. So when we did this, my husband and I, we started going to different orphanages,
Okay.
and that's at that time, that's when looking at the at those little persons, that they were just expecting somebody, not even for the things that we will bring, but just for somebody to pick you up and hold you and give you some love. So at that moment is when it really clicked on me, that it clicked on me that God had a different plan for my life. He didn't want me to have one child. He wanted me to look at that there are more children that they needed a mom, the same way that I needed them, as my children.
Mm-hmm.
They needed love from a mom. So over the years, we've been going to Tijuana to drop stuff to different orphanages. We finally found this home with 18 children, where we met Evelyn and Oved, which are the foster parents. And this place changed our lives because we needed a structured home where the kids are raised in a godly environment,
Mm-hmm.
where these children are taught, that if they study, if they perceive, if they proceed to get an education, they're gonna be somebody in life, and they're gonna break that cycle of poverty, and
Right.
they're gonna become somebody. So my life became meaningful, and even though we lost everything, all of a sudden God started restoring us and
Mm-hmm.
putting us back together like a puzzle, like a broken vessel,
Right.
but
Right.
and he started gluing every part.
All the
And
pieces back together.
yes, and you know we're never gonna be that vessel that was at the beginning, because once it breaks, and it's put together, you're gonna have all these scars and all these things, all these
Right.
signs that that vessel was broken.
Right.
But the thing to me is amazing, what when you decide to let God be on the driver's seat and not on the
Not the
co-pilot's
co-pilot. Right.
seat, He can turn things around. Even when I came back and I saw that this thing that I created, because it wasn't my husband, it was me, that I created because I wanted a baby. And even through this episode in my life, when you see the care and the tenderness and the love that God has for you, it's just like the sheep, when the sheep goes and gets all muddy and gets all hurt,
Mm-hmm.
but He'll bring you back to the el redil,
Mm-hmm.
back to the corral,
Right.
and he'll cure all your wounds, and he'll clean you up, and then he'll bring you back. That's how I felt.
Wow.
And now, over the years, when I started going to Tijuana, a lot of people were seeing me, a lot of the realtors, and they say, Connie, we want to come with you. We want to
Uh-huh.
come with you. So everybody, a lot of people started going with me. I started renting vans and
Wow.
taking people to Tijuana. And we were going to the different orphanages
Uh-huh.
and blessing these children, and that's how I started the nonprofit organization, the 501(c)(3),
Mm-hmm.
that is called Genesis Dream Foundation.
The Genesis Dream Foundation. When did you start that nonprofit?
I started a nonprofit in 2012.
2012.
Yeah. So
Okay.
for a couple years, we
Hmm.
were just going and dropping stuff to different places.
So since 2012, well, prior to 2012, you've been doing this. You've been going to TJ and
Yes.
orphanages and bringing things to kids that are in need over there, right?
Yes.
And now you continue to do that under
Yes.
the 501c3, under the Genesis Dream Foundation.
Yes. Under the 501c3. Yeah. It's sometimes I feel like throwing the towel
Hmm.
because it's tiring to drive 3 hours. Not only I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. My husband will help me to put all this stuff in my car, and I drive for 3 hours, and then go to the homes and drop in the stuff. And I used to go and come back in the same day,
The same
but
day.
now it's just hard.
Yeah.
Time flies, and
And we're
as
not as
you
young as we used to be. We get tired.
yeah, we're not as young, but God is my strength, and sometimes I think that I can do it,
Uh-huh.
and that's when I think of throwing the towel. And He says, "No, no." He gives me a sign, and He opens the door here and the other doors
Right.
there.
Right.
So He says, "You gotta continue because there's so many children that need a good education. They need food on the table. They need clothes. And I mean, you have children, right? You
Hmm.
know that your children, when they were little, you spend little, but
Right.
then when they grow up, you spend more, right?
Right.
And
Right.
that's what a parent is. And I realized that I needed to have any children of my own to be a mother to so many of these children, and I provide for them. I go, and they're expecting me just to for me to spend the day with them. They don't really
Right.
want me to bring them anything.
How often are you going to
I
Tijuana?
go at least once a month.
Once a month?
Yes,
Okay.
sometimes when I feel okay and I have a lot of energy, I go twice a month, but I go once a month, and I brought people there, and we have stayed there for one day or two, and then we
Okay.
come back.
And when you go there, how many different orphanages do you go to?
I used to go to like two or three
Uh-huh.
every time we go there. Depends on how the day
Uh-huh.
will be, because also you have to make appointments
Oh,
to
okay.
these orphanages. Or they call them Casa Hogar. They call
Casoga.
them like Casa Hogar.
Mm-hmm.
They're really not called orphanages in Tijuana, because even though a lot of these children are orphaned from father and mother,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of these children are rescued from the streets of Tijuana. When you rescue them, either the mothers are in living the wrong life,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to say anything
Mm-hmm.
offensive to these mothers, but they just don't know how to care for these children, and they're in the streets, and so the children they're dragging their children on the streets, and
Right.
when the children are in the streets, they're in a lot of danger, because there's a lot of predators in Tijuana, more than any
Wow.
other place in Mexico. Tijuana is one of the worst places where these children are in danger of being kidnapped and trafficked. And even, I don't know how they do it, but it's one of the multi-million-dollar industries
Wow.
that is out there. And that's why, when I think about these children, and I think the opportunity that we are giving to each one of them, that we take in our care. We put them through school. Right now, there's our first graduate from university.
Oh, really?
Yes, when she got to the home, she was 12, and she had a speech impediment, and she didn't know how to write or how to read. And in 1 year, she did the whole elementary. And then years after, she became the best of her classroom, and now she's a social worker that
Wow.
she wants to be
Wow.
giving back to her community. And we have a dental technician becoming um, a dental technician
Mm-hmm.
student
Mm-hmm.
that is going to become a dentist.
Wow.
And we have another lady that is becoming an architect. So, see, these things for me are my passion because I see through the years. That's why we stick to one place because we wanted this place to be the model for other homes. Now, the next step for Genesis Dream Foundation is to open a chapter here in the Antelope Valley
Mm-hmm.
to help those children that are leaving the home. And when I heard Abner talking about almost the same thing
Right.
as me, and you know how God is little by little, He's bringing
He'll connect us
He'll
all.
connect us,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So in the last meeting that we had for with the businesswoman of God, I met a couple of really nice ladies
Uh-huh.
too
Uh-huh.
that they work with the trafficking children, and it's amazing how God is just putting everything in its place. So, like I told them, I'm just your vessel. I'm just here to serve you, and this is my legacy.
Wow. Wow.
So
You've been a blessing. You have a wonderful story. You have an incredible story, Connie. And I'm sure you know it. You probably don't know it, but you have been a blessing to many kids out there.
yes,
Especially that girl, that person, I don't know if a boy or girl that's graduating from the university,
yeah,
because you had something to do with her life. You had something to change the outcome of her life. Unfortunately, she was placed in a situation that she didn't ask to be placed at, right? She was placed in the foster home in this type of sector. And then you came along with your co-pilot, and then eventually he took over, he took control, and he guided you where to go. And because of this, you've been a blessing to so many kids out there that probably don't know it. So thank you for being a blessing to so many kids. There's so many kids out there, even local here in the AV, they need something like you.
yes.
And I'm glad to hear that you are considering starting a chapter here locally for our local kids also that need this type of
Mhm.
love. They are lacking this love.
Yes.
So thank you for that.
Thank you, George.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
thank you for this great opportunity to tell because you don't know who the social media is going to reach,
Right.
and to tell the world, what we can do. And everybody can do one thing, one, poner su granito de arena,
Right. Right.
like do something for those that need it,
Right.
and for those the most vulnerable, which is the
Yeah.
children.
So let me ask you a question, Connie. So if somebody wants to get involved with you and help you, with this journey of yours that you continue to do, right? How
Mhm.
can someone get involved and help you with this?
Well, we do have our GenesisDream.org website, which I'm sure you're gonna put in there.
It's right here.
It's right
Uh huh.
there. And you can also put my phone number right
Okay.
there.
Right there. I'll put it right there.
661 right there.
Yes.
661-874-9795. Um, Over the years, God is helping me to open a beautiful office too. As you know, you're the one who did all my graphics
Uh huh.
in our new uh, real estate office. So I have a lot of realtors that are very supportive. A lot of people like you too, like Vicky. So I invite everyone that would like to be a part of Genesis
Right.
and help the kids. You don't have to go to Tijuana because
You'll do the trip for them.
I'll do the trip for you. And but if you want to be a part of them, uh, now there is Zoom, and now there is a lot of things where we can let the people see the children, because sometimes they ask, "Are you really doing this?" And then when these people they have come with me to see what it's like, They said, "Oh wow, Connie, I'm so sorry I doubted you."
Wow.
Yeah, but it is real. We live in a beautiful country where nothing, we don't lack it, nothing, George. We have a home, we have, work, we have clothes to wear, we have
Hmm.
food to eat. Oh, sometimes over there they only eat once a day.
Yeah, that's
It's
terrible. Yeah.
because there's some orphanages or casas hogar where there's 40, 50 children. Imagine.
Wow, that's
It's
terrible.
hard.
Yeah.
But thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you, Connie, for, reaching out and coming in and sharing your story with us. Our doors are always open. So if you want to come in again and, we'll talk about something else, maybe we'll talk about your real estate business. Her
Yes.
office is located on Rancho Vista Boulevard. There's right by the 14th freeway. There's a Jack in the Box. She's located right, good place to go see her and grab something to eat because you have Jack in the Box right there. You got Mi Ranchito. You have Azteca restaurant, right? You have Yoshinoya there in your right. So it's a great place
Yes.
to eat. So if you want to see Connie, now you have an idea where her real estate office is. And what's the name of the real estate office? Because they just
Nova
changed the name.
States. Yes,
Nova
it's
States, right?
Nova States with LPT.
Okay, so Nova State.
Yes.
So, reach out to Connie, check out her website, the GenesisDreamFoundation.org, and help her out, help her with her cause, help the children that are needed. And like I said, I'm glad that she's now opening a local office here in the AV for the Dream Foundation so that we can help her help the kids that are in need here in the AV. So now you heard Connie's story. What's your story? Reach out to me, go to VenturaGraphics.com, click on podcast, and then schedule your podcast with me. We'll talk about anything that's positive, as long as it changes our community in a positive way. You're welcome to come in here. If you're one of those negative guys, that all you do is complain, forget it. This is for positive stuff. So I'll see you around town, Connie. Thank you very much. You're a
Thank you,
blessing to
George.
everybody. I'll
Thank you
see you
so
around
much.
town.
See you around.
That's my story, and now I'm sticking to it. What's your story?